Yo, yo, yo. Good afternoon to all the viewers, to all the subscribers. Welcome back to another edition of 343 podcast. As always, joined with my co host AF, my other co host Riyaz. Notice that the smiles are not as big in Riyaz's camp, but I think AF might give us a smile right now. I thought that was a magician. Sorry, I thought it was going to happen. Guys, how was the weekend? How's things going, Riyaz? Let's go with you there. How you feeling,
Yeah,
pal?
not too bad. I was sick. I'm recovering slightly, so I might sound a bit odd. But yeah, it's been not too bad. It's almost next weekend again, and it's international break, which is always gets me down. But
Yeah.
we move on.
I think use this time to maybe introduce yourself to your family again, because this is the time that all the football fans get to meet their loved ones, their significant others, this international break, this boring period. I think it's the best time to touch some grass, go outside for a bit.
Is it again 1 week only?
Well,
Yeah,
one and a half weeks
1.5 weeks, yeah. And I think
Yeah,
if you're from Cape Town, then I think you should be at the beach, eh? This weather's calling for it. Maybe some beach footy and stuff like that. AF, how's things with you, man?
No, good man, good. I think I'm looking at this break from a different point of view. Don't have to worry about any bad VAR calls for any of the clubs in the Premier League, any of the clubs in the Champions League. So yeah, some peace of mind in that regard. But yeah, other than that, United came away with a win, thankfully. Um, yeah, it's not like their football's improving or anything like that. It's just like okay, coming away with a
a
win
win's
here
a
and there.
win,
And
man.
Win is a
a
win,
win,
bro.
a win's a win, a win's a win. But yeah, I saw that there was some news today regarding the ownership. Richard Arnold is left
Yeah.
United. No longer the CEO. We got a guy called Patrick Stewart as an
No
interim.
ways. No ways.
Not Professor Xavier, guys. Not
Okay, I was
No,
Professor
about to say
Xavier.
now because I mean that's maybe something that Man United need, but I mean I don't know why it's up to that show.
This dude is a Huddersfield Town. Um what's that
Huddersfield.
club's name?
Huddersfield.
Huddersfield Town.
Yeah, Huddersfield. Yeah.
He's a fan of theirs.
Okay.
Apparently he's been attending United meetings for a while. But yeah,
Okay.
he's only the interim at the moment. And then the rumors are saying that a guy called Jean Claude Blanc will be the long
Yo.
term CEO.
I thought you were
Okay.
gonna go with the
Um,
Karate Kid and Professor Xavier.
I honestly thought so. I can
yeah,
imagine him and like
yeah,
Sancho
it's all
fighting it out.
happening at United. It's all happening. You never know what's going to pop up. But yeah, so some direction with regards to our ownership. Hopefully, it's a direction in the positive sense.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that all of this, like seeing that I mean, Sir Jim Ratcliffe is taking over 25% of the club. Apparently, according to rumors, he's going to be handling the sporting side of the club, not really doing anything on the commercial side, and that's
Mm.
probably the one thing that's lacking. Because I mean, our owners never ever really thought about the sporting side. We haven't had a sporting director. I think we're the only club in the Premier League without a sporting director. So yeah, interesting times ahead for a United fan.
Nah, that's good to hear, man. And I think maybe it filtered into the team's performances recently. Maybe it's not been the best, but I mean results wise, things have started to look almost like it's going up. We obviously exclude the Champions League game. More contentious VAR decisions there. But yeah, just looking at this last two Premier League games, and we saw the 1-0 against Fulham, and I think it was 1-0 against Luton as well. Did you catch both of the games? And is there any sort of a positive that we can grab onto? And I say we, not a Man United fan, but maybe can Man United fans hold on to something from those two results?
So, and I know, like on past episodes, like I've crucified this man, but Harry Maguire's been good, guys. the past
Yeah,
the past few weeks, Harry Maguire has not been bad.
I won't have it.
Um,
I won't
he's
have it.
he hasn't been world class, but I mean he's been
yeah,
much better. I think that captaincy, like take relieving him of that captaincy, has
Yeah,
been a game changer for him. He looks like he's playing with more freedom than what he used to.
yeah,
And yeah, other than that, Marcus Rashford is in the worst form of his life, I think. I don't think there's any sort of purple patch in his future right now. Everything's just not happening for him. I mean, that red card, like you said, in the Champions League,
mm,
that was definitely a game changer. If he stayed on, United wins that
yeah,
game easily. But yeah, like another VAR contentious decision, and yeah, it's just not going right for him. I think Harry Maguire had this same patch of form for the last like 2 years, like last year and the year before,
yeah,
where things just weren't going his way. He
yeah,
played for England and then he got sent off there, and
yeah,
it seems like the same thing is happening to Rashford right now. So I don't know, man. Like from a United fan, if say for example somebody comes in with a 100 mil offer for Marcus Rashford,
yeah,
I'm shooting for the stars with that one.
yeah,
But if they do, I think United would be extremely silly to turn that down.
yeah,
That's some really good money for a
mm,
player that's really not hitting his stride right now. And we've been waiting years and years for him to consistently hit his stride.
yeah,
Um, he's hit like really good patches of form. Last season, I think, was a really good season for him, but
yeah,
there's no consistency, man. Like I'm struggling to see him find that sort of form again this season. You never know. You can make me eat my words right now. Going on for the next like 8 months or so, but yeah, like I don't see any other positives right now. Like I said, I don't think our passages of play are that great. We are looking at like lucky wins or stuff. Hoyland, I feel extremely sorry for him. The
yeah,
dude is like he's himself into really good positions, and whenever he's trying to score in the Premier League, it's going straight to the keeper, it's hitting the crossbar or something like that. But yeah, I still
yeah.
think he's gonna come good.
Yeah, I think if the form from the Champions League is anything to show, I think Hoyland definitely there's something there. I'm not sure if the and we say that it contrasts very much when you play Champions League versus Premier League football because it's obviously a different kind of pressure. I do think there's a player there, and yeah, maybe it's now just to build on this momentum of this two Premier League wins. I think what the tactic should be is low block, low block, low block, score in the 89th minute, go back to low block, and hope that they don't add on 8 minutes, because then maybe
Yeah,
you could possibly concede, right? So I think that's the game plan for the foreseeable future. Get us to Christmas, like stay there, right? Because I mean, currently, where's United like sixth or something, isn't it? It's not like
yeah,
massively far.
It's
I
only
mean,
5 points or something.
yeah.
yeah,
Five
and
points off top four or
everything
something.
that's gone wrong, both off the field and on the field, with all those areas. I think I wouldn't say it's like positive, but you're still there. It's two good wins, and it is literally a one or two wins, not good wins. Yeah,
And
Riyaz,
we ended up relying on that defeat on against that Newcastle had this weekend.
yeah.
I didn't expect that to happen. So
I don't
yeah,
think
I'm
anybody
taking that
expected it.
all
Yeah,
day.
but it's just those two wins, and then just some favorable results, and then suddenly things can look up. And okay, maybe it's just a plaster over a crack, and maybe you actually need to sort out the whole foundation, which is what you would obviously hope would happen now. But yeah, let's just see what this future holds. I think this next run of fixtures shouldn't be too challenging. Maybe you can correct me on that if you have any standout games, but I think it's
Let me
just
just
about
check that
keeping
quickly.
that momentum, isn't it? Riyaz, just while
Yeah.
AF checking that there. Yeah, we've obviously both of our teams have gone through similar things, and we harp on this every episode. But yeah, is it just a case of just keeping at it and just winning it, even if it's ugly, even if it's 1-0 or a deflected goal or something like that? Is that all it is at this moment in time?
For now, I think it's okay. It does the job, I guess.
Yeah.
Especially with the team that they currently have and the way that they're playing. They are playing some shocking soccer, but
Mm.
um, I mean, as long as you get the result, that's all that matters, and that helps you kind of, like, as you said, paper over the cracks, and that kind of allows them to find their feet, which is weird because we thought last season was them finding their feet, and they played really, really well.
Yeah.
So for them to be refinding their feet is a bit weird for me, because I thought this was the season for them to kick on and actually challenge for the top.
Yeah. Yeah.
So because they did so well last season, so
Mm.
it's a bit odd to see the regression that they've gone through. But
Yeah.
as long as they're getting the results, I think it's going to be okay. Like I've said, I think the biggest issue currently, or not the biggest issue is the pattern of play, which they don't have. But the second biggest issue I would say is the Marcus Rashford form situation,
Yeah.
which is also nonsensical. It makes no sense. It just drops off and then it comes back up and then it drops off again. There's no
Yeah.
consistency there whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I kind of like the fact that he's stabilizing the back four now, even though it is Evans and Maguire.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why Varane isn't playing, or if he's still coming back from an injury or something. But
Varane is so gone, guys.
what do you
Mm.
mean he's so gone?
He's so gone. I don't see him staying past the end of the season at United, in all honesty.
That's
But
bold.
then you need another. Oh, you have Martinez, but then you need another centre back. Then I mean, what do you mean
Maguire.
he's gone?
Maguire
They'll probably
and
get
Scotland
somebody in, but I mean, there were those rumors 2 weeks ago that he fell out with I don't know if it was with Eric Ten Hag or if it was with
Yeah.
the management or something like that. And yeah, that's why Peran's been, he comes on in like with 2 minutes to play, and
Yeah.
people like Lindelof, Evans, they play ahead of him. Compare that to the start of the season where Maguire, Lindelof, they were eating bench every day. Varane and Licha, they would start. That was our opening pair, and like
Yeah.
there's no two ways about that. And
Yeah.
now it's just like, okay, uh, plans have changed. Varane, he's not even like third choice now. He's basically last choice centre back, which is
Yeah.
That
insanely
makes
weird
no
to me.
sense. Yeah, it makes no sense. I mean,
Yes. World Cup winner, 5-time Champions League winner. Yeah. It's
Champions
crazy.
League Varane.
Mm.
at least you have Wan-Bissaka back. That's a good thing, I guess.
Yeah. And also, I heard West Brown's come out to retirement. So put him next to Ronnie Evans and you can get the whole
Throw
band
it
back
back.
together.
Throw it back.
Throw it back, bro. Well, that
Winning
Fergie
mentality, guys.
winning
That's all
mentality.
it
That's
is.
all it
It's all about the mentality. Yeah.
Yeah, but just touching on mentality now, and I think last week's episode we had recorded a bit earlier, so it was Monday. It was before that Premier League Classic that had happened. Riyaz, I unfortunately have to segue to you now. You're talking about patterns of play, and I swear, if you asked the Spurs fan last season, I don't think they would have known what that was. But now your good mate has now set it up that you guys have some decent pattern of play, albeit for this last two results. What is that emotion like now? I mean, you were flying at the start of the season. You might have tapered off maybe with a draw 2 here, but now it's like two losses back to back. What is the mood?
Mood is still quite decent. Like I said last week on that Monday before the game, it's gonna unravel at some point, and it just happened to unravel all in that game all together at once. We had injuries, we had red cards, so the
Yeah,
suspensions, everything in the one game all went to crap. So
yeah,
um, it's kind of, I'm still trying to keep a level head though. Like, and it's not even like injuries and suspensions of people that we don't care about. It's like
mm,
the
vital.
main,
Yeah,
our important core of the team are all now gone. Both centre backs, the left back, and the creative midfielder, all four
mm,
are gone. And that
yeah,
is a bit of a problem because we only have an 11. We don't really have depth in the squad,
yeah.
as shown this week. We're having lost again. But last
What
week's
do you mean
game,
you
I
don't
was,
have depth in the squad? You have Eric Dyer.
yes,
Amazing.
Eric
Never
Dyer
try
equals Harry
Amazing.
Maguire.
until you go pay Harry Maguire together. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Eric Dyer equals Harry Maguire. That's what I'm saying. They're basically the same person. I mean, so whatever you might think about Harry Maguire, Eric Dyer is the same. Well, I will say that he came on again in the Chelsea game and he did decently. He played
yeah,
okay. It wasn't shocking, which is what we expect. So that's good at least. And I think in this past week we had to start Dyer and Davis as a centre
Yeah.
back pairing, which is Chivas. And then the middle three was Saar, Basuma, and Hoybia with no creativity in it. So that was really surprising. So in that first 15 minutes against Chelsea, I thought we were going to play them off the park. I thought it was going to be 3-4-0.
It looked crazy. Yeah.
It was going to be easy work on a Monday night, and it was going to be chilled. And then we started getting frantic. Romero, I mean, there's your mentality right there. We just spoke about mentality now.
We spoke about
He
him.
always has one of those in him, and in a big game, you really don't need that. That's why I was surprised when they gave him the vice captaincy at the beginning of the season, because that's not something that you need from any sort of leadership group on the field. And he doesn't do that for Argentina either. Like, he's very level-headed when he plays for Argentina. So why at club level does he have to be ridiculous? Like, that is a ridiculous.
There's no Messi at Spurs. That's why.
You shout at him.
He knows. He knows if he does that for Argentina, he's out of the team immediately.
I don't
getting a
even
call
think
up
Messi
again.
shouts, right? Messi just looks at you and he's like, okay, guys,
disappointing you.
sorry. It's like that old father stare. He just looks in the rearview mirror and you know already. You've done something, even if you don't know it yet.
But so that game, you see, people have been telling me that it's against Chelsea when you go down to 10 or you go down to 9. They've been so bad this season that you can just sit in a low block and let them try and beat you.
Yeah.
Which I understand and I get that. But I also really like the way that we approached the game, even though we were 10 or 9 men on the field. The way that he sort of, I guess we should say, attacked with that amount of people on the field was very interesting.
Yeah.
Instead of going low, he went extremely high. He condensed the pitch, not in our half, but in their half. And he still gave us chances to score, which was with 9 men is super interesting. Like,
I mean, Eric Dyer's goal that was actually disallowed. That's a finish, bro. That's like
unfortunately the offside flag beat us there on that one.
And then also, like what Ange said afterwards, he was like, "Mate, if we're down to 5 people, we're still having a crack," and that's actually great mentality, but also not great for other managers, because they're like, okay, try to get these oaks like sent off, try to like tempt them to like perform these like really rash challenges, get them down. We're gonna get them wide open, and like we know that we'll end up scoring.
You see, the high line only works when you have Mickey there at the back, and that's why, like I said, I think I told you guys in the group, I'm not watching until Mickey's back, because Mickey is such an important part of. Yeah, it's okay, I accept. Because Mickey is such an important part of how the back line works, and with that high line, I mean, he's one of the fastest defenders in the Premier League.
Yeah.
One of the fastest centre backs. So he covers well, and he covers Romero's irrational thinking very well. So it was interesting to see us play with 9 men on the halfway line, or just shy of it. We did really well for I think 25 to 30 minutes. We kept them at, it was 1-1 or 2-1, whatever the case may be. And then the floodgates kind of opened, which was expected. But we created chances. Like, with 9 men on the field, we still created 3 or 4 chances to score, which is unbelievable because of the way we condensed the pitch. And because we condensed the pitch, we were still able to press in that small man for man in that small space. So that was really interesting, the tactical decision there. And then this weekend, I think they scored in both goals in the extra time.
91 and then 97. Yeah, something like that.
That was
just lapse of concentration, I think.
Yeah, that was so poor game management, like such poor game management right at the end.
Yeah, it was probably down to the lack of experience or the lack of minutes from the guys that are on the field. But other than that, it's Wolves, and I mean, the Wolves. If it wasn't not if it was anybody else, but Wolves kind of deserve some luck going their way this season. They've had shocking luck. Genuinely, they've had shocking luck, and they've played really, really well. Like last season, I hated Bournemouth for some reason. Everybody else, you guys like Bournemouth. I hated them, and I thought it was down to the way that they played. But now that I see Gary O'Neill playing at Wolves and the style of play, I actually really, really like Wolves a lot.
Yeah.
So they deserved a bit of luck, and well done to them. As we are going to struggle because I think we have Aston Villa next, and then Manchester City after that. So rough times ahead without the first choice starting back line as well as Madison. Hopefully Madison can be back. Otherwise, we're really screwed.
I think he's back like the 25th, I think. So yeah, like watching that game, right, the Spurs Chelsea game, I thought once you're down to 9 men, and also to be fair, I feel like Udogi could have been gone before he was actually gone. I feel like Romero could have
Yeah.
possibly also been gone before he was gone. I felt, right, and I might counteract your point now. I felt like it was very foolish to try that eye line. You at 1-1, right, and you have all the odds backed against you, and it's fine if it works out to the eye line, but I think you actually set you guys up to be exposed, and rather use that as the thing, as like we were 9 men, but we like still had a go at it. Like assess the whole situation, see that Chelsea, because I mean also it took Chelsea like 20 minutes to break that eye line.
Yeah.
Like professional footballers can't run offside line, don't know what a third man run is, and then as soon as they do it, slow the run down, put the ball through, somebody puts it across, finishes. I mean, you had a 9 minute hat trick from Nicholas Jackson, who couldn't even finish if there was nobody on the field.
Yeah.
And he somehow managed to finish chances there. I was like, yo, this guy's, and he's shameless as well. He's celebrating like he's had one of the best games ever. Like, scandalous. You're playing against Dyer and Davies.
Against a 9-man team.
And then eventually, yeah, against a 9-man team. And then, so I felt that was a bit reckless from like Ange, and I fully believe that you have to stick to principles, and that's perfect. But in a situation like that, and okay, it's easy for me to say because I've never managed anywhere close to that level. I mean, I've done it for under 9 team, and I say, guys, let's do low block. But that was like you 1-1, and you'll have a chance because it showed if you just kept the patience, and then you almost gave the game away because Chelsea would eventually break the seal, and then once the seal was broken, the floodgates were just open. And it could have been 6 or 7 if you do that against City. If you do that against Liverpool, if you do that against Arsenal, I think you spanked a lot more than 4-1. But yeah, that's why I can sit here on this chair and comment because I know nothing. This is just from my perspective. Yeah, but it's just two losses, and probably if you ask for the start at the beginning of the season, Spurs fans would have absolutely taken it, right?
Yep.
You still
100%.
up there, it's the same with Man United. It's just 2 wins and a few favorable results, and you're still back in this. I still think it's a good start by Spurs as previous years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then I mean you got, like, you guys are playing City in 2 weeks' time on the 3rd
Yeah.
of December. So
Yeah.
that's a possible top of the table clash happening right
Yeah.
there.
We're already fourth already only, so it's not no
No,
longer
no,
top.
no. But you understand what I'm saying. There's like
Yeah.
like a minute, like there's a couple of points that like separate you guys. So like
Yeah, and there's
a
a
win
few
over
games
City
that
or
could swing in
possible
your
win over
favor as well.
City. Yeah.
Yeah, but we can't win that game anymore. It's done. It's already over.
Okay, I see what he's doing. A little reverse psychology for all the
We
psychologists
have
out
we have
there.
no centre backs for that game.
Yeah, but
We're
it's
gonna have to burn
fine.
the game with Dyer and Davis again.
You'll have Romero back by then.
No, we won't.
Nah, man,
That's the third game.
King's gonna be back as well. That guy's finally had his knee off. He's ready to soldier. He's ready to strap in and strap on.
Yeah,
Gonna
no.
be a star.
Nah, look here, it's gonna be interesting. Right, and I say that all the time, but I think it's just how you manage and just manage expectations in this time period where, like you say,
Yeah.
you are without players. Right. So
Yeah.
maybe don't go with a gung-ho style to Man City when you know that all they need is a little bit of chaos, because I think City thrive in that chaos, and I think we saw it in this weekend's game. Give them a little bit of space, give them a little bit of, maybe your fullback pushes up too much, they will expose it. So yeah, I think maybe you have to be a bit flexible now in terms of
Yeah,
tactics.
it's gonna be. I'm still worried. Actually, the first game that I'm more worried about is Villa, because Aston Villa at home seem we're
Another
playing them at
team
home.
also that thrives on that chaos.
They are on one at the moment. So we'll be playing at home, thank goodness. But so yeah, first Villa, and then if we can get past Villa, we'll see about City after that, I guess.
Nah, it should be good, man. It should be good. But also, yeah, so moving on to City, and we obviously know what they're capable of. I don't think we expected the sort of result we saw over the weekend. AF, did you catch the game? I hope you did, because if you didn't, you missed the classic.
No. It was quality, eh? And I don't think you can emphasize enough how selling a player to a rival would impact how that team where they're going to would play against you. And
Yeah,
in Chelsea's case, you have Cole Palmer and you have Raheem Sterling.
yeah,
Both played under Pep Guardiola. Both knows his management style.
yeah,
Both have been to millions of meetings, practice meetings, training sessions
yeah,
with him. So that's definitely things that they could feed back to Mauricio Pochettino, telling him ways and giving him ideas on how to break down this defense. I mean, it's not often that you see City conceding 4 goals.
yeah,
So there's definitely been some feedback because like at times some of those goals looked a bit too easy for my liking.
yeah. No, so I don't know. It's crazy, right? Because I think Chelsea, and I think I saw this somewhere on X somewhere. They were talking about how Chelsea raise the intensity when they play bigger teams. So you would look at a game like the Chelsea Liverpool game at the start of the season. I think they had done very well for a team that was freshly bought and a new manager as well. I think the Arsenal game, maybe Arsenal more poor, but Chelsea still had to score the goals. They had to still create the chances and stuff like that. And in the City game, they just raised that intensity. And I think where they struggle is maybe like we saw against Brentford. Brentford are not going to succumb to what Chelsea's doing. Chelsea play like a lot of emphasis on your wingers cutting in and your fullbacks going, and a lot of uh, through through passes in the middle channel. Sorry, my English is failing me now. And then Brentford just come and they sit and they just catch on the counter and stuff like that. So yeah, that game Sunday was like it was chaos, man.
Yeah,
It was like an old school game of you score, then I score, and it's like FIFA. FIFA says that, or once you score, you're always susceptible to concede, and that's literally what happened. It was like within the space of 5 minutes, and then there were just goals that were coming in. Riyaz, what did you think of that game? What is your
Yeah, it was a
thoughts on it?
great game. I think exactly what you said. It was chaos, and I think that was actually by design.
Yeah,
Because I think that both, well, there's two people that we haven't spoken about yet that I think deserves a lot of credit for Chelsea's not resurgence, but just the game, that game solely in general, and that's Pochi, who masterminded, and I'm going to say masterminded that draw, I guess, by
yeah,
making sure that in transition, Chelsea were, or that they knew what they wanted to do. So as soon as the ball
yeah,
was transitioned, Chelsea were on the attack. Raheem Sterling was against
yeah,
Kyle Walker, and Sterling took it to Kyle Walker one-on-one,
yeah,
more often than not, which we never see. And that caused the other centre back to go and have to help Kyle Walker, which freed up the space for Cole Palmer, who cut inside. So if you look
yeah,
at the heat maps of the two teams, Palmer was actually basically next to just behind Jackson. He wasn't on the wide; he was
yeah.
behind Jackson, and Gallagher was the one who played wide, which was
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah,
So what happened was they used Gallagher on the defense to basically interrupt the pattern of play. And then on the
yeah,
transition, they broke and they crossed the crossfield ball to Sterling. Palmer was inside. They gave the ball to him, and that's how they were kind of able to
yeah,
engineer the attacks, which was really
yeah,
really interesting. And then the second person I wanted to say was Gallagher. Gallagher himself.
yeah,
Gallagher is actually super underrated, I feel, because the work that he gets done on the field is
yeah,
relentless. He's like a dog. He just goes in there and he does all the hard work and he gets no plaudits for it. He's not
yeah,
great. Like he's not a flashy player. He's not going to get you goals all the time. He's not going to
yeah,
play you through balls. He's not going to do all the flashy stuff. But he's going to go in there.
yeah,
He's going to press hard and he's going to win those balls for you. And I think that's super crucial for a team like Chelsea, especially if
yeah,
you wanted to beat City on the transition, which is how they did it. Because like you said, it was end to end. Like as soon as Chelsea got the ball, they were on the
yeah,
other end, and then City got the ball and was back this way again.
yeah.
So it was very interesting to see. And Thiago Silva, man, the man's almost 40, and he's
yeah,
just relentless as well. He's unbelievable. Like my favorite defender
yeah,
of all time. What a guy, honestly. But
Just
what a great
just
game.
just back to Gallagher again. I mean, he was the subject of a move away from Chelsea on deadline day.
yeah.
I think there was a loan move
I
that
think we wanted
that
him actually.
yeah that
You know,
fell through
Spurs.
on
Oh,
deadline
okay.
day.
Yeah,
And it's so insane how things turn out, eh?
Yeah,
He doesn't get all the praise and stuff like that, but I mean, like Riyaz says, like he does so much work on the field, and I mean, he's captain for a reason. There's probably
yeah,
things that's happening behind the scenes that we
yeah,
don't know about that he's actually really good at.
yeah,
And the players probably have so much respect for him as well. Yeah, so it was like really top stuff, like pointing that out. And I don't think Raheem Sterling has had a game that good for Chelsea since he moved.
yeah,
And I think it was just the fact that he's going up against City. He wants to prove a point, and I think he was man of the match. I know Cole Palmer got the award, but I
yeah,
think Raheem Sterling, like he
yeah,
definitely should have gotten man of the match
yeah.
instead. Cole Palmer got it because I mean he equalized right at the end. It was like nerves of steel and all those things. But yeah, Raheem Sterling. I think Jeremy Dock was still chilling in his pocket, if I'm not mistaken.
You mean Walker?
Yeah, look, so yeah, I think Raheem deserves more praise in the English space as well. I think that we long know that the English media has a particular bias, right, to players of color and how they get scapegoated when the other wingers maybe don't do as much or other players don't do as much. I think he's been disadvantaged because of his past, but I think yeah, he turned up, and it's also I think there's only been two wingers really that I've looked at and over the years have watched that ran at Kyle Walker with absolutely no fear, and that was Mane when he was at Liverpool.
Mm.
Absolutely terrorized Kyle Walker anytime he had no fear. Because I mean, Kyle, he's a physically imposing defender. He's quick. He has a bit of mental to him as well, which can unnerve players. And then you had Raheem Sterling, who just absolutely put on a clinic, like literally how to occupy right backs, how to keep them engaged, keep them honest, so that because Kyle Walker's known for those bombing runs, but I think adding to Riyaz's point where they knew what transition elements needed to be in place, I think Walker couldn't do as much, and I think that's why we saw Akanji drifting in more rather, as opposed to Walker going. So yeah, it was a crazy game. Yeah, I think the reason Conor Gallagher is captain is because their first choice, Reece James, is injured. Their second choice, Ben Chilwell, was injured, and then Conor Gallagher was the next boy that they found from academy football, and they just put him in there. But yeah, also agree with you. It's very super, like underrated. And I think it's because he's playing in a midfield where he's got Caicedo who came for like 100 and something, and then Enzo also came for 100 and something. So it's like, let's
Don't
not look
forget
at the other
Lavia's still
guy.
there, eh?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
forgot
Lavia
about
who didn't even touch the field, maybe like once or twice. So yeah, I think it was a good game for Premier League football. I think, it was crazy. I think when you looked at the stats of the XG and all the chances that were missed, and I think there was maybe a goal that was disallowed here or there, or maybe there's a chance that could have been finished. It could easily have been a 5-5, could have been a 5-4, could have been a 6-4 even.
anything. Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
think what also helped. One more thing on that is what also helps. Just the mentality of Sterling going up against Kyle Walker is that he would have done it day in, day out in training for 5 years, or however long he was there at City for. So he has
yeah,
no fear
yeah,
to take on Walker at all whatsoever. It's all in his
Yep.
brain. He knows how to get
yeah.
past him. He knows everything about him. So I think that also helped him a lot in terms of his mentality.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. It comes at an awkward time. Obviously, this break after we had such an exciting week, we have international break. But gents, I'd just like to thank you for the time you were able to chalk out today. AF, as always, where can the folks find you? Social,
I'm
at least.
at AF Parker 642 on all socials. I'm not actually going to even go through it anymore, but it's just
Perfect.
same handle all through. Comic book talk, sports talk, cricket, soccer, everything, the works, NBA currently.
No,
Yeah, give me a follow.
that's great. Riyaz, I see that you've been
Um,
tweeting a lot more. I've been getting notifications. They say maybe you know
I'm,
this
tr- I'm,
follower.
I'm trying to tweet more at Parker. At Parker underscore Riyaz. Yeah, that's what it
Yeah,
is. I'm trying to, I guess, be more active on Twitter, I suppose.
yeah.
You can get me on there.
No, for sure. Yeah, I'm at Jason_Ronnie, and we are at Sporticast.
Yeah,
on
follow the
all
channel.
major-
More important.
Yeah, so leave all of us, right, and just follow the channel, please, and share the videos, and yeah, comment if there's something that you want us to touch on in the sporting world. Yeah, let's have a look. Let's try and broaden our fan base, and if there's something that we need to chat, maybe we can look at that. But yeah, as always, thanks for the love, thanks for the support, thanks for the comments, the likes, the shares. Yeah, and thank you to you guys as well for availing us. That is it. Have a good week, gents. See you soon.
Cheers.